All right, here with third round leader Lydia Ko. How are you feeling as you've just gotten off the course here at Caddie Golf Club?
My front nine, I didn't get off to a fast start compared to the other, my first two rounds. But I tried to stay patient, give myself good looks for birdies. And, I had a stretch in the middle of my front nine where I had really long putts for birdies. So just trying to not make stupid mistakes and kind of keep it in control. And, nice to finish off my round with two birdies on the last two holes. But this is a golf course where even though it's windy, it seems like everybody's playing so well, so you're just trying to make your share of the birdies. And I've just been having a lot of fun out here, and that's kind of the mindset for tomorrow as well.
What's it been like getting used to Caddie Golf Club over the past few days? And this has been, like you said, a gettable golf course, especially today.
Yeah, every time I look at the leaderboard, I'm like, oh my God, somebody shot 8 under, 6 under, and or more. So yeah, when you see so many birdies, obviously it kind of gives you the confidence that, hey, the birdies are out there. But at the same time, I think you just can't push it and trying to force stuff in. And you just have to play to your game. And especially when scores can be that low, I think I have to stick to my strategy and my game plan and see where it goes. It's obviously final day. It could be, I'm not really sure what the weather's going to be like, but there's that little bit of added pressure. But I'm just going to enjoy it and, have fun out there and see, how I finish at the end of the day.
What was it like playing next to Yuka Saso? I mean, Yuka came in here yesterday when we said that potentially you two would be playing together, and she said, oh my gosh, I remember when she won the US Am at such a young age. What was it like playing up against her?
Yuka was super impressive. I know, probably today wasn't the exact day she had envisioned, but still, considering all that, she finished under par for the day, and she's been super impressive just to play alongside. I remember playing with her for the first time a couple years ago during a practice round and thought, wow, this girl is so impressive and she has things that I don't have in my game. So it was really cool to at times feel like I was on the sidelines watching, but yeah, she's been playing amazing, over in Japan, and I'm sure she's doing her country so proud, and hopefully it's in that we'll see more often on tour, and I'm 100% sure that her name's going to pop up at many leaderboards.
And as you are doing so well over the last couple of rounds here at Caddie, you've got Dave on the bag with we were just talking the last time he was on the bag with you was back in Scotland when you also were playing at a great point. How much of a familiar sense is there between you two when you guys are able to work together?
Yeah, this was like a last minute thing that I had to arrange, and luckily, Sunghyun wasn't playing this week, and she was very kind enough to let me borrow Dave just for this week. And Dave being somebody that I had worked with prior to this week, it makes it a little bit easier and a bit more comfortable, and we're not starting things from scratch, and I feel like he knows my numbers pretty well, and he kind of knows how I am around the golf course. So yeah, he gives me a water bottle at the time that I need, and he's always a fun person to be around. So I've enjoyed it, and we're going to continue having fun tomorrow.
You mentioned seeing some of the numbers that were going up, throughout the day. How much were you keeping an eye on what Nelly was doing, especially on the back nine when she was making a run of birdies at you, and you just seem to answer every time?
Yeah, because of the scores, it doesn't show exactly what that person's shooting for the day. I didn't really know how many under par the players were shooting, but the leaderboards aren't super frequent out there, and I'm not really a leaderboard watcher anyway. But every time I did see her, the leaderboard, she had made another birdie or another couple birdies. But then Lanley coming in, she's been playing amazing. Won at Lake Nona a couple months ago already. So she's playing with great form, and I know we're both going to have a great time tomorrow, and hopefully we both will play some good golf. And this is a golf course that players from behind can also really get into it. So you just never know what's going to happen. So I'm just going to stick to my game and just enjoy being out there with Nelly, Jason, and Dave tomorrow.
You mentioned kind of trying to stay patient to that front nine. Was there something that really clicked in for you once you made the turn, and when you?
I've been hitting the ball, pretty solid. So, giving myself a good looks for birdies. And I think just in general, when I wasn't super close to the hole with my birdie putts, just making sure that, I'm up and in for par. And I think I made birdie on 11, and that was my first birdie outside of a par 5 today. So that kind of felt like, that made me feel like I could actually make a birdie on something outside of a par 5. And that was good momentum. And, that 2-putt on 12 was probably the shot of the day almost, even though that was a par. So, yeah, you just, you kind of play with what you're given. And I think, sometimes when there are lots of birdies, I think there is a bit of pressure that you feel like you need to keep making it as well. But there's 18 holes and lots of golf left. So I just have to, play the most confident and best golf I can. And, sometimes hurts are going to drop, sometimes not. So just don't add, extra pressure to myself.
How much did you see the last putt go on 18? That looked like a little tricky there, going downhill, right?
Yeah, with the wind being a little bit into, that definitely made it a little less fast. But, nice to finish off with a birdie on any 18th hole, any day at an event. And I thought it was going in, and then it broke a little bit more, and ended up creeping in. So no pictures on scorecards, they say, but I'm glad that it did drop on the last.
Played in a lot of final groups over your career so far. So how much does that experience kind of play into going into tomorrow when you're in a final group on a final day?
I think there's always that little added thought that, hey, you're in the final group, but I think more so when the scoring has been fairly low around this golf course, you can't really take anyone out of it. So I think just, don't think, a big deal of it. Obviously, I was in the final group today, and, just have fun. And I think fun and patience is going to be a big key. And, just make sure that I'm hitting every shot with conviction and just enjoy it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lids.
Thank you.